The mindless bell takes us home. And then we affirm, I have arrived. I am home. Such is the nature of life, that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I. And it is the message of this teaching to make us aware of this essential truth of our being. And so when the bell rings and we place our attention in that sacred space we call home, then we live from that place. We can call it awake awareness if you choose. You can call it the Christ within if you choose. We can call it the Buddha consciousness. It's all the same. There is this divine presence that is always there, waiting for us to go home to it. So often we get distracted by the world and all the stuff that's going on in the world. But when we come here for this time together on Sunday mornings, our intention is to return to who we are and to light candles of awareness in our soul. The yantra of our teaching, which is in the window over here on my left, it's that of spirit moving through soul, manifesting as our experience through the heart of the one that knows no other. And so we are all spiritual beings. We're having a human experience. But when we know, as it says in the Bhagavad Gita, that spirit was never born and spirit never dies, and we are that same spirit, all of us sharing that one life, moving through our universal soul, outpicturing as the life that we call my life. But we realize, just like the raindrops outside, each raindrop can say, I'm a unique little raindrop. And when I become a snowflake, I'll even be more unique, because no two snowflakes are alike. But yet they all come from that same liquid presence of life. And so wherever we look, we can see the face of God, outpicturing as the rain that falls from heaven, the heaven that's all around us and within us. Seek ye first this kingdom of heaven, said Jesus, and everything will be added unto you. He was pointing to something so vast and universal that we come here on Sunday mornings to have a direct experience with this heavenly consciousness that we all share. And so we observe our attention, the most valuable possession we have, our attention. And is our attention resting in light and love, in peace, in deep acceptance? Or is our attention struggling with the outer world? And so we just observe, who am I in this moment? And then we find a little smile. I am the smile within the smile. I am the love and the light that are shining forth, not as somebody separate, but as the love and the light itself that isn't separate, that is one love, one life. Jesus said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. He recognized it's the Father within that doeth the work. He was pointing toward this divine loving presence. He used the name Father, but we don't have to give it a label. We can call it the Tao, which is the one. Or we can just say, It is the emptiness dancing. And we are that emptiness, empty of the local self. It is only our finite self that wails and suffers. Simultaneously, there is this infinite presence that lies stretched in smiling repose. So could we find that infinite presence that lies stretched in smiling repose within us and all around us, the same infinite presence? And then we experience the sense of interbeingness. We sing that little chant, I am you, you are me. There is only one here. There is but one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. Oh, what a beautiful little expression of divine love walking down the aisle. And so we smile to this journey into the breath. Breath is another word for spirit. Into the sacred moment. Boy, it feels so liberating to stop our chasing after something outside of us and to go home and find that it was always there waiting for us right now. This morning I was cleaning up the sanctuary and I was cutting the dead out of the plants, and all of us in the Mingoralia, there was a feather. And I said, what bird was in the sanctuary that dropped a feather in the Mingoralia? And I was having a kind of a senior moment, running around looking for the bird. And then they reminded me, it's probably the Megan bird who dropped one of her feathers. And then I went, oh, it was a Megan bird. And I laughed. And I said, this is the moment that the Lord has made. Let me rejoice and be glad in it. So open your eyes. And thank you for showing up on this stormy day in Huntsville, Alabama. There was all this concern, watching the Weather Channel. My beloved husband will be here today. He comes once a year on the annual meeting. He was telling me that there probably won't be anybody there. And I said, well, you could be there for the ones that are there. And so you'll get to see him. He's not a myth. We've been together for 50 years. And so Trey's sister, his beloved sister, Lynn, she lives in Maine now. And I guess the ICE agents are coming to Maine. They're breaking into the houses and she's kind of freaking out. And so she said she's taking this class, Megan, and she absolutely loves it. But I ordered the book and, oh my God, it's so controversial. Dare I teach it? I mean, they're talking about how effed up the different religions are. And I said, I can't use that word at the center. But I opened it to, today I'm speaking on the last talk of this month, Shifting into Freedom, planting seeds of intention, how we're going to move into the freedom that is our true nature. And it started off by recognizing that we are awareness, that we are consciousness. And when we find the consciousness of the one, and then we say yes to it. And that was the second week, to say yes to life, to say what life brings. You're not resisting anything anymore. And in that deepest acceptance, you meet life on life's terms. Last week, we explored the idea of hearing the cries of the world. We're not separate from the world. They're all our children out there. When I saw that little child being chased in Minneapolis because his skin was a different color, my inner child just started to kind of cry, because we're all connected. So could we keep our hearts open, even in hell sometimes? And then lastly, it's this week, what seeds of intention are we going to play? Intention is everything. So I pulled out this controversial Mirabai Starr, who started off as a nice Jewish little girl, and then she went to every possible religion on the planet until she realized it's all about mysticism. Imagine no religion, I wonder if you can. So whether I teach this or not, you'll see what she's like. I'll just give you a taste of her. Deciding to be the mystic that you already are. A mystic is one with God. So here's what she says. To be a mystic in our times is not about renunciation, it's about an intention. This is for you, Miss Anastasia. It's about that intention. And she says, living as a mystic means orienting the whole of yourself toward the sacred. Everything is sacred. Everything is holy now. It's a matter of purposefully looking through the lens of love. Looking through the lens of love, Adam. Oh, God. And there is a saying that God is love. And when we are loving, we are being God-like. Play with that one. So he goes on to say, Father Ed, the priest who helped Bill Wilson start the Alcoholics Anonymous program, said this: sometimes heaven, with the capital H, is a pair of new glasses. We're beginning to see things with different eyes. Heaven is a pair of new glasses. You know what it looks like when you wipe the lens clean of all the smears and the dust. So when you say yes to cultivating a mystical gaze, the ordinary world becomes more luminous, and it's imbued with flashes of beauty and moments of meaning. So whatever looks like it's crazy on the outside, we begin to see through it that there is a pony in here somewhere. There's light in here somewhere coming through. Behold the holy by revealing almost everything as holy. Everything is holy now, even the stuff that's uncomfortable. A plate of rice and beans, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, your new baby, the latest political scandal, oh dear, and scoundrel, and the scary diagnosis, and all those restless nights, they're all sacred. We don't resist anything. She goes on to say, Mirabai Starr, you can start right here in the middle of your own messy life. Oh, Megan, dare I say that? Your beautiful, imperfect, and perfect life. Imperfectly perfect life. There is no other time, and the exact place you find yourself is the best place for you to enter. Wherever you are is the perfect place for you. So she's saying, enter there. Set your intention to uncover the jewels that are buried in the heart of what already is. These are crazy times. Can we embrace these crazy times and find the grace, the good, the God? Choose to see the face of God in the face of the bus driver and the moody teenager, in the peeling of a tangerine. I saw you do that this morning, Adam. And in the feeding of the cat. Decide, mean it, open your heart, and then do everything you can to keep it open. Light every candle in the room. Now, I have a lot of candles at home, and I thought, my God, that would be a fire hazard. But she's saying the candles are different. The candles are the music that you listen to. The candles are the pieces of inspiration that you go to. And so I've pulled out some candles that light my soul, and I'm going to share every light with you, the candles in the room. Sacred scriptures from the world's religions are candles for me. You know, I love to quote Emerson, and I love to quote Rumi. Out beyond the ideas of right thinking and wrong thinking, there is this field of love. And when the soul lies down in that field, words are not necessary. Even the idea each other does not exist. I will meet you there. So there's no you or me, there's only this love. That was Rumi himself. So the Tao Te Ching reminds me to behave like water and flow around all your perceived obstacles. I think the Tao is working for you, little Ben, over there. Every kind of music can be a candle for me. What's the song we're going to sing? My religion is kindness.
Loving kindness.
Oh,
I
am filled with loving kindness. May I be well, may I be peaceful and at ease. Every piece of music, I was sharing with Jody that when I drive here, I listen to Frank Sinatra station, and every song seems to take me to that realization that we're all here to love one another, whatever it is, every piece of music. And when we make a pact with ourselves to show up for reality just as it is, reality rewards us by revealing its hidden holiness. Reality reveals it by showing us its hidden holiness, its ordinary sense of wonder, its fruitful shadows in our radiant wounds. Oh, our radiant wounds. I thought of you, Richard, when I watched the news. They're having really bad weather in Dallas. Aren't you glad you moved to Hunts Patch? Anyway, setting the intention to walk the way of love rescues us from the all-consuming preoccupation with what the modern chant of Krishna Das calls the movie of me. When you step out of the me, you arrive at the we, and then you get to the all, that it's all the one life. Lastly, she says, it takes effort to find the gold in what you once discounted. Your own aging skin, your ethnic nose, oy vey, the grouchy grocery store clerk, and the shallow driver on the one-lane road, a stomach flu on your first day off in ages. But it gets easier. Your wonder muscles grow more robust, and your capacity for appreciation expands. So you set your intention to meet life on life's terms, and oftentimes life's going to give you those challenges that are overwhelming, but when you meet that overwhelming challenge, you find the good, the God, the grace is right there waiting for you. So thank you. It's a gorgeous, transformative, welcoming little book, and it might be controversial, but maybe I'll teach it anyway. I pulled out my Science of Mind magazine, which is an inspiration for me. It's our teachers. And they did a little tribute to the new year, 2026. And the lovely minister, she's from Lexington, Kentucky, and she talks about being open at the top. Our teaching is open at the top. You talk about a candle. So she says this, to be open at the top in this very moment means that you're asking what Spirit is seeking to express as me, as us in the year ahead is allowed to come through. So Spirit, use me, oh God. I stand for you, and here I'll arrive as you show me. That's what you're doing, Ben. Spirit, use me to create this whole business. And then she says, the divine current is always moving forward. We're moving forward in life, and it's urging us to grow deeper in wisdom and rise higher in love. Isn't that a wonderful intention to set? Deeper in wisdom and higher in love. She says, and when we open and are willing to align with the current of life and discover that renewal is a natural thing, well, then even the things that might be challenging become blessings in disguise. She said, this new year offers more than just resolutions. It offers us revelations. I can see clearly now the pain has gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Every sunrise whispers that we are participants in an ever unfolding spiritual evolution. That's what this teaching is about, is spiritual evolution. We are evolving into an awareness that waits for our attention. So being open at the top means we do not cling to the way that things have been. Instead, we embrace the call of what's next in our relationships, in our communities, and in our shared journey. We're in this together. You know, you're my spiritual family, and I'm so grateful that I get to evolve with you guys. Okay, so she says, spirituality is not about arriving at the right set of answers. There are no right set of answers, Michael. It's about living in a consciousness that is fluidic, dynamic, and willing to be surprised by the grace of the moment. Ooh, this is the moment has made. You know, it's so funny. People know that the penguin's my spirit animal, and I get sent these texts of penguins. Were you the one that sent me the dancing penguins are going up and down? And I oh God. So I keep looking at them, and they're telling me to get out there and dance. It's the penguins. I know, it's a kind of spiritual is not about arriving at the right set of answers. It's about living in a consciousness that is fluid, dynamic, and willing to be surprised by the grace of the moment. Dr. Holmes challenges us to hold the future as an opportunity to experience more of the divine in, through, and as us. So let us step forward with our hearts unafraid and our spirits wide open. I invite us all to greet this year with a receptivity, and remember that being open at the top is to trust life is still creating, and Spirit is still guiding, and love is still the deepest truth of who we are. And so the affirmation we make for this year, Miss Megan, is I remain open, receptive, and ready for the infinite to surprise me again and again and again. I have a CD of me as a dancer years ago, and it's called Dance Me to the End of Love. And when I met Megan, I realized that she was in this dance with me. And then I found this workshop that I had created when I went to Hawaii for the children, and it was their Dance with the Beloved for all these little children. So I may hand this all to Megan, and we'll do a Dance with the Beloved for all the children. We'll bring Jack and you, and I'll bring my little boy, and all your little kids can come, and you can experience oneness. I mean, that's how life kind of gives us this cosmic smack. I was going to my teachers. Llewellyn Van Lee is my mystical teacher that came from Sufism. And boy, does he kind of smack me all over the place. And so I went to the back of the book to get his candle for me. And here's what Llewellyn says. He speaks like this, you know. He says, you know, David, the problem isn't the cookie, the problem is you. I said, I can't eat cookies because they fill with sugar. And, oh, it's not the problem, you're the problem. And so this is Llewellyn. The healing waters of life are right here all around us in these new patterns of relationships. We are the energy of life flowing from source itself. We are the place where the worlds meet, the place where life is reforming itself. Isn't that kind of juicy, Ben? We are the place where life meets itself and it reforms itself through us as an expression of it. Boy, it doesn't get any more juicy than that, Kelly. The energy of life is flowing through us through these connections and networks that are being formed right now. We do not realize that what matters are the networks themselves. These developing patterns of interconnection and relationship. So, this is, I know we may be small in numbers, but we are powerful in our connection in that field of divine love. They are alive in a completely new way, a life force in themselves, and they carry the light, the consciousness of the One. It's all the beloved, the one life, expressing through multiplicity in each one of us. In a dialogue of light, individual with individual, this dialogue of light is going on all around us, communicating through this vast web of interbeingness, intercommunication all over the world, and we do not realize how significant that is. So Llewellyn is lighting that candle that we're here to serve our inner beingness that's all over the planet. I'll just give it a titch more. The paradoxical nature of this inner world, combined with the alchemical spark of divine light, can produce strange and unexpected happenings and synchronicities. There are no accidents that you showed up here singing one morning and the next thing you knew you were on the board. When the light of the individual meets the sacred substance of life, something mysterious takes place. A strange magic is then born. So the invitation is to step into the magic of life by allowing yourself to be seen, by stripping away the mask of me, and to find this something that's using all of us. Use me, O God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, command my heart. And that's a song by Ricky Byers. And so could we let ourselves be used? I feel so grateful for my board that shows up. They don't get paid a salary, but they get paid in spiritual coin, and that's what so many of us get paid in, to serve this something that's emerging on the planet. So then I went to my beloved John O'Donohue. You talk about a candle in the wind. He was a Franciscan monk, and he was a monk, and he's had to leave the Catholic Church because there was too much sin there and too much this is and that. And so he left and he became a poet. And this is his book of blessings, to bless the space that lies between us. And boy, I cherish this man. He lives in me. And so here's his little candle for a new beginning. You know, the Bible says, behold, I make all things new. So could we, right this stage, at this age of life, and here's his blessing for a new beginning. And I know you're entering a new life, Miss Megan. He says, in out of the way places of our heart. Oh, I should put on my British accent. This is John O'Donohue. In the outer places in the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming for a long time, waiting until you were ready to emerge. Are you ready to step into your true nature? This is the time. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside of you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. There was something that was wanting to step out of the life of yesterday and to experience its true hidden splendor now. And you know, it's always that way. It never stops, Thomas. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered. It heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent and wondered, would you always live like this? Would you always be caught up in the dream of someday I'll X, Y, or Z? Then all of a sudden he says, the delight, when your courage kindled, courage cores heart, when your courage kindled, to step out of the familiar and into the unknown. That's what you've been doing, Ben. He says, your eyes young again with energy and dreams, a path of plenitude opening right before you. And through your destination, though your destination is not very clear yet, you can trust the promise of this opening. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive, to trust this opening. There's a candle for you. Unfurl yourself in the grace of new beginnings. That is at one with your life's desire. New beginnings that is one with your life's desire. How many of us grow up thinking, what is my life's desire? To express my jubilant and beholden soul. to dance me to the end of love. I mean, that you and I are the same, little Megan over there. He says, awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back, and learn to find ease in risk. Oh, isn't that juicy, Anastasia? Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be at home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits for you. We're soulful beings stepping into a world that doesn't necessarily honor that, but guess what? We don't have a choice anymore. Beloved, this life belongs to you. Do with it as you will. And so thank you for John O'Donohue lighting the light in my soul to remind me. Then I jumped into little Jeff Foster, Falling in Love with Where You Are. Virginia Burroughs said she ordered this book and started reading it. And she says, I can't stop crying when I read this book, because he's basically saying, fall in love with where you are. And here's the candle in the wind for you at the very end. The intention, he says, this is at the very end of this long, beautiful book. Never turn away from what is happening. This too is good, and this too is God. And here's what he says. And so we make this radical commitment to never turn away, no matter what's happening, sweet Adam, grounded in an unshakable knowing that has nothing to do with the mind's limited idea of certainty, that every sensation, every sound, every smell, every thought, every image, every possible feeling is already deeply allowed to move and to express within us, and recognizing ourselves as the warm oceanic embrace of these beloved inner children, we simply cease to doubt our boundless ability to face life. We stop questioning it. This is the life the Lord has made. Could I rejoice and be glad in it, even if it wants to take me through the places of change and radical. And if doubt does appear, says Jeff, and if a sense of my inability to face life is what we're facing right now, I can't do this is too difficult. Even if that's what you're facing right now, we simply notice that even those waves are allowed as well. So when the I can't person comes in, you say, yes, you can. You've done it before. You allow that too. Already timelessly allowed in this boundless capacity that we are. So we meet those parts of us that are in resistance. Jeff goes on to say, and what are we left with? Well, there's a good question. Only unspeakable gratitude for the tiniest and most insignificant of things, a simple breath. What are we most grateful for? A simple breath. So you might want to take a breath. The taste of an orange. That orange looks so tasty. I wish you would have shared it with me, Adam, this morning. The untamable and unnameable aliveness that we call our body. We still have a body. Could we embrace this body? It's not something, oh, she's pulling out the orange over there. The wild mystery of some eyes looking back at you. Never turn away. You know, it's so funny. This man was walking his dogs by the house the other day, and he says, you picked some camellias from the camellia tree out front and gave them to my wife. He said, you would have thought you gave her $1 million. He said, because she looks at those flowers as if they're the wild mystery of the eyes looking back at you. Live, dear friend, live this day, this ordinary day, this sacred day, this one and only day, knowing that in some incomprehensible way, it has already fulfilled your heart's true desire. This is the day the Lord has made. Could I rejoice in it, no matter what's coming up, even if it's my stuff? The heart shatters into 1,000,000 pieces in ecstasy, because finally you have remembered to never abandon yourself. The heart bursts into 1,000,000 pieces because you're not abandoning yourself. You're not abandoning the self within the self. So thank you, Jeff. He's the young man. After I'd had the heart attack, I was 69 years old. And they told me when I came out of the recovery room that you're not supposed to be here. I says, what do you mean? Well, the nurse on duty, she said you had the widowmaker and only 2% survived. So you're lucky to be here. Well, that was kind of a shock to get from recovery. So I'd already arranged a spiritual retreat with Jeff Foster, and I went to Colorado, and there are no accidents that this young man who was suicidal, he was such a mess, all of that took him to a place of awareness that was necessary for me to hear. And he wrote this book called The Deepest Acceptance, and he says, when you accept the stuff that could give you this massive heart attack, and he gave us this little acronym to leave this 5-day retreat with. The acronym is RAIN, R-A-I-N. He says, recognize as the R what is going on in your life right now. A, allow it. I, inquire. What is it showing me? O, R-A, I, N. Oh, thank you. N, in a nurturing way. So in a nurturing way, you say, what is this here to show me as I go through this shift in consciousness, in this death and rebirth? Because we're always going through change. And so I left with rain in my heart, and I'm so grateful for Jeff. It's still there. That was his little gift to me. That was the cat. And then, of course, Mark Nepo. He's a young man who had cancer. And the cancer was the most transformational thing in his life, and it took him to source. And the candle at the end of this book this is Mark Nepo. He says, all the meditative traditions will encourage us to be still and to drop our thoughts and feelings so we can breathe out away below all the troubles into a flow of life that will carry us. So we're using our breath to help us shift out of a troubled consciousness into the grace. This is a wise counsel. It gives us perspective and sometimes peace. But being a poet, I entered this universal space and just took notes. I lean into the stillness with an open heart and listen to everything, including my thoughts and my feelings and the entanglements of life itself. For I believe the mutual goal of meditation and poetry and art is not to have us remove ourselves from the human journey, but to have us live our lives more completely in relationship to the flow of the life force that carries all of us. This life is taking us, and so the very stuff that might be the challenging stuff, scooting through the cave, you find the grace and the good in that. The poems and all that I have written are simply a trail, a record of what I see and feel in this meditative space we all share. All my writings arise from peering from the edge of my humanness into the barrenness of being that permeates all of life. I'm looking out from the me, and I'm seeing that this is all the one life revealing itself endlessly anew. This is at the end of his lovely book. I believe that poetry itself resides at the holy juncture where the humanness touches the barrenness of being and holds the universe all together. So we find this place where we're connected to the universe by going within. He says, my dear friend, the great visionary educator Parker Palmer speaks of the soul within us as the force of life that's at home in the wild terrain of our heart. So could we go into this wild terrain of our heart and find our soul there? Lastly, this is the flame. When I can quiet my fears and wants and be as still as nature itself, the living aspect of the universe will come out of the bushes and even nuzzle beside me. So at once, stillness brings me into alignment with our true nature, while allowing all forms of life to touch me, says that we are all one. We are all here together to experience that loving kindness. And lastly, like a meteor hurtling toward the earth, each of us hurtles through the years of our life, being warned of all that doesn't truly matter. And like the meteor that shines brighter, the more it casts off its light, each soul shines brighter as the body that carries it slowly is cast off over a lifetime. Imagine the more life that you have to give to let your light shine as the meteor. This is the same process that our deepest feelings and understandings are subject to as we try to express them. Don't you love metaphor? Lastly, each truth shines brighter as the story that carries it is cast off in a telling, and there is nothing left but its truth. And both the light of truth that we carry in our story and the light of our soul we carry in our lifetime illuminates us from the inside until, like the candle, we glow. Well, he's using the metaphor to an excessive amount that we glow like this candle. Until someone sees the light in your eyes and is stopped by the force of life that we carry and released by living itself. And so we're here to live the lives that I wanted to close with a little prayer, and my beloved Pam Hurdy shared with me a prayer by Julia Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way. And as she read the prayer to me, I said, I've got to order this book. It's her new book called Transitions. And I ordered one for beloved Anastasia and myself because she was here teaching The Artist's Way, and I taught it for years. And so this is Julia Cameron, an artist in her own right, in her long-lived life, who is setting an intention for us as we move into this next aspect of life. She quotes Augusto Bastos at the beginning. The things that have come into being will change continually. I am safe, it's only change. I am safe, it's only change. Doors closing, doors opening. Doors closing, doors I'm opening consciously. I am safe, it's only change. That's me. So as we move to embrace these new vistas, she says, we are not asked to abandon those that we love. As life leads us forward to a new job, a new home, a new relationship, I do not need to close my heart to all that has gone on before. My heart is a worthy vessel. Just touch your heart and just feel your heart is a worthy vessel. And I've had the Widowmaker. Oh, I'm here to take care of you. My heart is a worthy vessel. It carries riches gained from my living adventures. It carries room enough for other niches or for other riches to be gathered. I move through this life like a trader, bringing gifts to those I meet and leaving their sides enriched by the gifts that they have borne for me. You always give me a gift when you dance with the penguin, by the way, young man. Life is always beautiful, always adventurous, and if I will only open my heart to the new lands being offered, well then as a spiritual sailor that I am, I must lift the sail of faith and allow destiny's wind to move me forward. And her affirmation for today is, today I welcome the winds of change. And today I cooperate with the new experiences that are coming here for my soul. So beloved Anastasia, this is for you. And we've got a special song about setting an intention with loving kindness.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And this is our intention. Oh, and Jody has that collection basket. If you have something you'd like to leave the center, you can also do it online. And Mr. Trey will be here to do our financial statement. He's going to arrive at 11, so don't be surprised if this handsome man should walk in the back door. Okay.
If you know the words, sing along with me. May I be filled with loving kindness.
There's my husband.
May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Now let's do you. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. Come on, sing with me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy.
What a beautiful intention that is.
Let's do we. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy.
One more time.
May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. Let's finish with I am. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. Yes, Lord.
That's beautiful. Okay, Jody, we'll ring the bell one last time. And I'll take us into a closing connection as we prepare to enter the annual meeting very briefly. And so we find that gratitude in stopping, going within, knowing we've set an intention to be filled with loving kindness and to feel it radiating all through ourselves and through this planet so that we can be expressions of that loving kindness. We know that we are here in the center to shift into freedom by allowing our consciousness to unfold in ways that expand who we know ourselves to be by saying yes to every moment of life, knowing that this too is good, this too is for God, and we make a demand on the universe to see the blessing. And as we open to the suffering of the planet and we take it within, we transmute it through our awareness. As we set new intentions in this life, no longer reactions, but intentions. And so it's with so much gratitude that we celebrate 2025, launching into 2026 by setting intentions to allow our center to grow and unfold with success and love and shared participation. Take a deep inhalating breath. Give a sigh for the divine. So thank you for being here. I'm going to invite my sweet husband, John B. Stoddard III. I call him Trey because of the third.